Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Crypto Hipsters podcast. This is your host, Jamil Hassan, the Crypto Hipster, where I bring you amazing people from around the world of blockchain and crypto, entrepreneurs, founders, executives, regulators, artists, musicians. The list goes on and on. I have amazing conversations with amazing guests, and I look forward to today. Today, I have another amazing guest. I have Sofia Yan, and she is the co-founder of Numbers. Sophia, welcome.
Hi, Jamal. Hi, everyone. Good to I can't see everybody, so I can hear everybody. Yeah, it's good to have the opportunity to talk to everyone and talk to Jamal.
Awesome. I look forward to our conversation. And the
Mhm.
first thing I ask people, most people, with the exception of a few, was this question: is what is your background, and is it logical background to what you do now?
Oh, interesting question. Okay, so we actually have four co-founders in Numbers team, and I think I'm the only one that doesn't really have the tech background. Like I'm a literary, uh, not the tech people. Yeah, but another three of our founders, they are all like tech background. Like Tammy, she is in physical. She's background is physical, and Bofu is a software engineer. So they all have like over 10 years experience on software developing. And I am more in the marketing and business developer side. So yeah, it's totally different part of I think that's also a good way because if the founding team is all like tech people, they probably don't know how to like explain humans language for all the tech things. Yeah, so I think I would see myself as a translator in the team, like translate the tech things to general public. Yeah.
That is so important and overlooked. I did that at AIG. I was the guy who talked to the executive team and to the developer coders and had to be that bridge. So, what are you
Yeah.
finding? Like, how are you finding it challenging, or what do you enjoy about that part of it?
I think most of the parts are quite interesting. Like, I think maybe because my personality is more like I'm a curious people. Like I curious all the new things, so I see all the new things as an interesting way. So uh, yeah, so for me, it's always challenging because you have to um, if you want to know more, you have to dig deeper. So if you want to dig deeper, then you have to learn a lot of things. So that's the challenging part. But I think it's more for me. It's more like interesting things. Like every day I have new things to learn, and I have to trying to figure out what's how to use the like not that take words to telling our community like what we are really doing, and also I also need to telling our investors like why we are trying to do this in more like a marketing language instead of like tech language. I think it's interesting to do the translation. Yeah.
Yeah, I did that for a number of years. So that's kind of helped me with this podcast, being able to talk to tech people and non-tech people. So awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you what Numbers Protocol is all about.
Hmm. So numbers protocol is I would say it's a assay driven protocol that to make all the digital media traceable and verifiable. I think that's our vision to do the things. And by making all the digital media traceable and verifiable, we are able to address the critical issues in the digital media space. So like misinformation, copyright, and royalty distribution, those kind of things. So yeah, so we're trying to build the ecosystem and from the protocol part and after after we set all the protocol part, then we starting to build some tools to helping people to generate photos or videos that fit the protocol. Then we starting to having some marketplace and also partner with others to making the ecosystem bigger. So I think to make all the digital medias on the internet be traceable and verifiable, probably not only like one numbers protocol can do. Like we need partners. We need a lot of partners to co-build the ecosystem and co-build the what we call the decentralized photo network. Yeah, so that's basically what numbers do. And so by doing so, we now have 3 main products. The first product is I think it's most of the community members know us by that product. It's called Capture App. It's a blockchain camera app. So using the Capture app, you can easily collect all the informations behind the photo, like the time, the location, the device, and who really take this photo. It will be collected and then registered immediately after it generated. So it's kind of preserve the data integrity of these photos. So that's why we call that every capture can be traceable and verifiable. Yeah, so that's the most well-known product called Capture App. And the second one is we are developing. It's a numbers search engine. It's a search engine that used for NFT search, and you can use it like a Google image search. So just upload an image, and then you can find all the images, all the tokens that are minted by these images, the same image. So you will see there's an interesting thing that a photo can be minted on different chain and minted in different NFT token. So a photo actually has like maybe 10 or hundreds of tokens minted as NFTs. But in numbers, we are more like we call that token driven. So a token is linked to images, so that image can have ownership. But in numbers protocol, we turn it to asset driven. So we all like go from the image itself instead of the token. Yeah, so that's our second product called Numbers Search Engine. And the third one is our numbers mandate. It's our own blockchain. Yeah, so that's basically how we go so far.
Awesome. So basically, you're doing, if I get this right, in a nutshell, you're like a decentralized Instagram.
Yeah, you can say that. Like most of our communities will explain to others like that.
Got it. Okay, very cool. So another social, I use 3 main social medias, right? I use LinkedIn,
Mm-hmm.
I use Instagram because that's easy to support pictures, and then I use Twitter, right? I post on Twitter a lot. It's the fun part of being in crypto. But I want to talk about that. The real risk of data on Twitter, it looks like it is a possibility that the real risk is data being erased, right? What are the ramifications of data just disappearing on Twitter, and how can we preserve the history of that?
So just like I mentioned, to build the whole ecosystem is not the same that numbers protocol can do it alone. So we have to have a lot of different partners to do that. And what we see in the social media now is like they are all like Web2 based. So every like images you post on the Twitters, you probably cannot find out like where or who taken that photo. And also same on the Instagram and LinkedIn. I think most of the social medias now, they are not like people see the images on the social media, they're not able to really do the trace and verify, or they have to spend a lot of time to like use Google search and cross search to find maybe the original photo. And so what we are doing now is we actually trying to figure out how to close that how to say that, like a gap, like Web2 and Web3 gap. So, but most of the images and the video, like all of the images and videos generated by Numbers Protocol, we will call it like a native Web3 assets, like native Web3 photo, native Web3 videos, so that all the record all the record and all the like history, the asset history is on chain. So you can easily find the on-chain proof. But it's not that easy to find on-chain proof if the image is on Web2. So what we are trying to do is we build an asset profile page. So it's mainly like your asset profile linking. So we make every photo has a linking profile. So it's a link, and people can easily use that link to find these images and his own information, like the time, the metadata, and also the on-chain proof, and if this image has been minted as an NFT, things like that. And so people are asking us like, you still need to use like Web2 social media to spread out, like you use, because people still like stay in Web2 social media. So if you want to catch their eyes, then you have to like fit in. So what we are trying to do is if you want to share your like Web3 native photos to Web2 social media, then you can share our asset profile link. So you can share the asset profile link to Twitter, to LinkedIn, so that all the information can be stick on the photo. Then the people read your tweets or your post on LinkedIn, they can easily find the original source. But another thing is like it's a I think there's some limitation to use it on Instagram, because Instagram you only can like post images instead of a link. Yeah, so that's the thing we're trying to figure out and trying to solve in the future.
Great. When I use Twitter, I say I do a scrub every 4 months of all my old comments, right? Those don't stay around somewhere, right? They do disappear, right? Or is there some kind of archive out there saying, oh no, you said this back 5 years ago? You know, what are those risks there and the dangers of that kind of resurfacing?
You mean on Twitter?
Yeah, Twitter.
I'm not sure if I understand the question clearly.
Okay, say you posted something 5 years ago and it was your
Yeah.
view of the world, and your view of the world 5 years later changed, and you deleted that comment like a year ago. Is there some way that somebody can go back there and say, no, hey, you said this 5 years ago?
Oh, okay. So you mean if numbers can solve this problem, or?
Yes.
I think no and yes. Because like I think there's a pros and cons in Web3. Like all the images you register on blockchain, it actually like immutable, and it will like lasting long life on the blockchain. Like you can really delete it, or you can really like remove it from the blockchain. So it's kind of, we will like warn our user that make sure we have some like access, different access to make sure that user won't like really share their personal information into the blockchain. So yeah, we will warn user that all the information you want to preserve on the blockchain, you have to make sure it's like public. And I think the problem, the question you're asking is like you change your mind and you want to delete that history, but like in my opinion, like that history is also your history. But you can, I think if you share by that time, and people change, I know, and the history change, and also in different circumstances, maybe you will have different thinking on the same thing. But I think in blockchain, because they are not able to remove or to trim the original part, but you can do the edit part. Like you can edit some commit to the same asset, um, like you're like adding more different like perspective of your thoughts in the same thing. And I don't think delete is a good way to I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. Like because our core value is open and transparent. And I think if you want to do the transparent part, then you have to like be honest that yes, I said that 5 years ago, but things changed and I changed, and so I changed my mind. I will keep the record there, but I will also add the perspective and thoughts by now, and to let everybody knows that there's a history of this of these thoughts. That's my point of view.
Great. So you could take that picture where you commented 5 years ago and then say, you know what, in the past 5 years, X happened, and now I think Y. You know,
Yeah.
that's a great feature. So there are some real data risks in Web 2, right? And you're looking to improve upon them or fix them or solve them, right? How can Web 3 solve what are the data issues in Web 2, and how can Web 3 solve them?
So I think for us, we the entry point is the photo. I think it's the easy part for people to understand. Like a photo is kind of it's obviously like you can see it everywhere on internet, and people are like more used to see pictures and videos instead of texting. Yeah, and so that's our entry point from the photos. And a photo is and also the easiest way to making the fake news and misinformation. We all see that it's like easy to you just find a photo and then giving some captions, and it can become a news. And so that's why we try to. I think it's because it's an obvious problem, and also I think that's probably the first thing that technology can solve this problem. So starting from that, we starting to making some spec for every photo. So the spec we call capture. So every capture has its own like ID, like your personal ID. So we call it an ID, like numbers ID. So with that ID, all the photos are traceable and verifiable. If you have that ID, you can find it on Numbers Network. And not only that, you can also use that NID to find it on to find the file on the IPFS, because all the photos and videos are stored in the Web3 space. Yeah. So your question is like how can Web3 dealing the problem in Web2? So I think my answer will be, I don't think Web3 will kind of replace Web2. I think Web3 is probably a better Web2, like trying to, because I think in Web1, Web2, we built something, and we build something and then we get something, but we also like generate some problems because of something. Like in Web 2, we starting to have the access to do the writing on the internet, and we are able to interact with people. And instead of just read, we can write and not only read, but we can read in Web 1, but we can read and write in Web 2. And in Web 3, it's more like we can read and write and own the things on the internet. So yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking that probably won't really solve all the problem in the Web 2, and also probably will generate new problems. But I think that's the human like innovation process. Like you always solving problem, but when solving this problem, probably you will generate another problem. Yeah.
Like the way you compared Web 1, 2, and 3, as Web 1 is read, Web 2 is read and write, and Web 3 is read, write, and own. And I never had anybody put it that simply before, but it makes a lot of sense. So
yeah.
One of the things that I don't really like understand the underpinnings of the internet, right? But and I haven't heard this word before, but it's called integral fragility exists today, underscores the web. What is this integral fragility, and how is Web 3 going to be anti-fragile?
I never heard that word. Can you say that again?
Yeah, integral fragility.
Integral.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that in because integral fragility, and I'm like, I guess that's a developer thing, you know. But how does Web 3 fix, like, become more anti-fragile?
I think it's also related to the own. Like in Web 1, you can only like read, and Web 2, you can read and write, and Web 3, you can actually own something. Because in Web 2, like you watch Netflix, you listen to Spotify, but you don't really own like a song or a movie. But in Web 3, it's more like you can own your data. So I think it's different kind of concept on that. Yeah. I'm not sure if I answer your question.
No, you did. So people have the opportunity to own, like, instead of giving your content to Google as a YouTuber,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
instead of putting your business on Facebook and having Facebook own it, you actually have the
Yeah.
opportunity to own your business and own your content. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
gonna
Exactly.
that's gonna be a
Yeah.
game changer,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's a long. I think it has some way to go because people are too like used to the Web 2. Like you are quite familiar with you can easy to get some like free content. Like you listen to podcasts for free and you watch YouTube for free. Yeah, so that's also the thing we want to change because we think all the content provider, the content generators, like the creators, they spend their time to make incredible, nice content. They deserve to earn more instead of just the ads revenue. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I as a content creator, I fully agree with you. So
Yeah.
yeah, so you said something earlier, and I want to touch on that. You said deep fake, right? So how can blockchain technology defend against out of context information, deep fake technology, and digital asset theft?
So for the digital asset theft part, I think it's easy to really solve it. But the defect part probably a little bit hard. But I think we will go back to the roots, like from the beginning, when the content's generated and all the information can be preserved, then they can prove their resource. So you don't need to do the verification, do a very hard verification to really find the resources. So I think that's basically what Numbers Protocol want to do. So if you generate the photos by Capture app, we can preserve all the metadata and immediately, so that we can prove the resources from the beginning. But for deep fake, because it's made after you did a lot of modification, or probably not really like generated by human beings, and that's probably the difficult part to really. We still have the a way to like give the audience some information about that. Like we can, if the asset registered in that time by this wallet, but the device is unknown, then we can like tag it unknown device. So in Numbers, we don't really try to making all the users think that we are providing the authentic things. We are trying to let them know, like just like our slogan, it's giving you the full picture. Like we can give you the sufficient information that you can judge if you want to trust this data, all the informations on that. So if some information are missing in this asset, then you have the rights, and because you know that something are missing, then you probably can judge by yourself, like if you want to trust this data. Yeah. So like if one asset from Capture app and you can find all the information on it, then I think it's easy to really trust it, because you trust the data, not trust a person or some organizations to give you all the information, because it's the photo will tell his story by itself. But if there's a photo like generated by the deepfake, then it registers on Numbers blockchain. But something are missing, like they're missing like device, like what kind of device generate this photo, and who generate this photo. So if there's information missing, then we also will show like those information are missing, and let you to judge that if you want to trust this assets. Yeah, so I think that's the way we are trying to use the Web3 part and use the characters of the blockchain, like immutable and transparent, to solve this problem.
Awesome. So I have a follow-up there. Last year, this time, I interviewed Charlie Shrem. He was one of the original Bitcoin guys, and we talked about reducing the trust deficit. And that trust deficit exists between banks and people, right? But there's a larger trust deficit out there, isn't there, with like the Facebooks of the world and the Twitters of the world and all those, so how can we use Numbers Protocol and Web3 to reduce that trust deficit? And when can people start, as you said, start to trust again?
Yeah, I think that's a that's a big question and also a good question because people are losing trust in Web 2 and they want to find some trust back. And I think in Web 3, we are not really like finding back the trust. How to say that? It's like more like in Web 2, you only can trust the big company. Like you post your photos on Facebook and you use Google Drive to store your old photos, then you have to trust them. You have to trust them will not leak your assets, or if they shut down, then all of your assets will disappear. So this kind of things, like in Web 2, you have to trust the big company. But in Web 3, there's no trust. I think that's trustless because all the things are transparent. It's just there. So you don't have to trust any like centralized organizations. You just trust what you see. So that's more of a, I think I feel that Web3 is trying to do that. It's using the transparent to bring back the trust, but not trust a Web3. Not trust a Web3. It's more like if you have all the information and all are transparent, then you can trust what you see. Yeah.
It's kind of trust yourself, you know?
Yes. Yeah. More like that.
Yeah. So that goes back to, you know, if I want to trust myself and I want to be able to create my pictures and, you know, online with numbers and everything, you know, then I'm actually creating a digital archive, right? So what are the benefits, like to me personally and to the world, right? Generally, of creating reliable, interoperable, and secure, you know, digital archives.
It can be big and also can be small. Like if you do for your own life, then you can archive your life and all because it's all stored in the same place and you can easily find it, and then yeah, all are there and you don't need to worry about if it's shut down. Like if you like store all your live photos on Google Drive or Google Photos, and you have to worry about if one day Google are gone. Probably not, but there's a thing like yeah. So in Web3 archive, because it's all always there, then you don't need to worry about if there's a like single failure points, like your all asset will disappear. So that's a small thing for a personal. So I personally like that because I think there's a few times that Google and Facebook they really like crash and people are panic like of your life on Facebook and your assets in Google. We are too rely on it. So that's the small part. But for the bigger part, I think it's more for the society and the history because in Web2 world and on internet, you actually can't really do the how to say, like preserve the truth. Like we have a lot of information on Twitter, on Facebook, and everyone is telling that they are telling the truth. So we see a lot of like the war things, like Ukraine war, and also something happen in China. And we will see like a lot of things. People will try to manipulate the photos and the history. So there's no like real truth, or there's no enough information to helping you to judge this like if it's truth. But Web3 archive and also the photo archive, then it can help you to at least you will know who and when and where the photo is taken, and you are able to judge if is truth, and you don't need to do a lot of like verification things to make sure it's truth.
Yeah. You said Ukraine. I don't remember what station it was. It might have been CNN or NBC or somebody, but they were doing a video in March saying about from the war, and they were in a jungle, and the area of Ukraine they were actually in was snow covered at that time, but the video showed they were in a jungle. So that was very manipulated. So
Yeah.
but I don't want to ask you. There were some things that were manipulated recently in CFI, like balance sheets. This year we had a tremendous contagion with all the like FTX and Celsius and all those companies.
Yeah.
Like, how would these digital archives would have helped plug those balance sheet holes? Or, they probably wouldn't because the money was gone anyway. But how would that digital snapshot have helped, with the process?
I think the things happen on FTX. It's more like it's not really like decentralized. Yeah, kind of trade-off. Like if you want to do things in Web3 and like a totally decentralized and probably not very like efficient. But so there are some like centralized exchange to do that, to do the things for people and helping to like helping to manage your assets, like your treasury. But yeah, so that's my personal perspective. I think it's not really like decentralized. So yeah, people, yeah, just back to our discussion before, like you have to trust them. Yeah, the only things you have to trust, FTX won't like taking all of your money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the screenshot actually there's some like community members are sharing with us because if you want to get back your assets, you have to provide some proof that you actually have how many assets in FTX. So they actually share with us that he did the screenshot, but with the capture app. It's just like taking your phone and then take a picture. Then yeah, it all on that. So it's not really do a screenshot on your desktop, but just use your phone to take a picture. Things like that. It's very simple and easy. Yeah, but yeah, for the FTX, I just think that yeah, they are centralized. So yeah.
Hey, you take that snapshot, you put it on the blockchain, and then people can dispute what you own. I think it's helpful. So
yeah.
So I want to thank you very much for your time today. This has been a great conversation. I love talking to you. I have one last question, and that is, how can people find out more information about you, about numbers? How can they learn more, be involved? How can they do that?
The easiest way is to visit our website. So our website called numbersprotocol.io. So it's easy to find, or you can just Google search Numbers Protocol. You will find us. And we are on Twitter. And also we have a Telegram group with 20,000, over 20,000 community members. So if you have any questions, you can ask inside, and our moderators and our other community members will answer your questions. And also me and Tammy sometimes will show up in the community to having engagement with our community members, because we see our community as part of the team. So yeah, we value all the community members' suggestions and feedback. And we also have Discord, but Discord has like we use mainly on Telegram and Twitter. So if you want to find the latest information and latest news and any kind of events, campaigns, then you can find us on Twitter.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you, Jamal.